Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of StarSound Speaks. This is your host, Irlianna Samsara, StarSound Astrology, and the weekly Astro for this week, Sunday, September 11th, until the 17th. All right, so here we go. So overall, I think this week, there's a lot of opportunities, a little speed bump in the middle of the week. But there's certainly, we're still in Virgo season, so we're being very, I'm saying the word cautiously optimistic. Our connections with everyone, our sun in the sign and Venus in not in the greatest place in Virgo, but it's very much a discerning kind of energy with communication. We are also in Mercury Retrograde, which just started. So we're just newly launched into that mystical, magical Mercury journey. And if you want to learn more, if you're new to the channel, my name is Irlianna. I study and practice, by the way, Hellenistic astrology with modern blended using whole sign houses. But I love yoga, and I have been practicing yoga for like 131 years. It feels like it. But anyway, in the previous episode, 193, I talk about the mystical aspects of Mercury, especially when it's in retrograde. So if you haven't seen that one, you might want to check that out. And it's good for whatever sign Mercury's in, but I certainly am addressing with this particular Mercury retrograde from Libra into Virgo, into its domicile. So anyway, we're dealing, of course, for the next few weeks with Mercury retrograde in Libra into Virgo. And in the next episode of StarSound Speaks, I'm going to be addressing, the Queen's passing and Virgo and the Venus archetype and all these, where the symbology of the shift into into this new chapter in this new era, which I developed some of these ideas, again in the previous podcast, but I do want to elaborate on that, especially now that she has passed, and what that brings up for us in the collective. So, but anyway, that'll be the next episode. But for now, I want to give everybody, our little weather report. So Sunday, tomorrow, we have the sun in Virgo is going to make a trine. It's already coming into a trine with Uranus and Taurus. And so a sun trine Uranus it's cool. It's, Uranus is always about the breakthrough and the innovation and the uniqueness and the stepping out of the box and looking at things in a new, profoundly enlightened way, maybe some light bulb realizations around our values, the things that we love and cherish and value. And so this might provide us with breakthroughs, certainly with Taurus, self-esteem. When I think about Virgo, I think about the critical mind. And so there may be some breakthroughs around, our self-esteem in the workplace, or our critical mind, with anxiety and feeling being free, breaking the chains and liberating ourselves from any kind of anxieties, worries, the mental mind, and where innovation might occur, what, ways of being that would break out of those things and provide, doing things differently could provide more, the sun in Virgo wants efficiency, right? And so to do things perfectly, but no, try not perfect, efficient, we're striving for efficiency and productivity. Don't have to be perfect, because perfection could be just as much as you are able to be efficient for that day and being at peace with it. So maybe there's some breakthroughs available. Certainly this is the opportunity for that, where with our daily work, our daily activities, our service, maybe volunteering, the daily grind, you could say, or being an employee or having employees, so these are areas where we could be having some realizations. This is going to inspire us to think outside the box. Virgo is also about self-care, so there could be innovative ways of caring for ourselves that maybe we hadn't thought of or we hadn't embraced, and discerning these things and finding what's essential and what's useful, and being able to open up to these new ways of being and new approaches. So we can bring a fresh approach to, who and how we serve, how we take care of ourselves and others. Okay, then Tuesday through Friday, we're going to have Venus is going to be squaring Mars. It's going to perfect Friday, but we'll see it within 3 degrees, of course, applying. So this week we'll really be dealing with Venus, which is in her fall in Virgo, right? And so it's not an easy place for Virgo. Virgo likes to be cushy and comfortable and doesn't want to be bean counting, with a falling in love with a bean counter might be something, whatever floats your boat. But Venus in fall is going to be squaring Mars in Gemini. So they're both in Mercury's house, right? Virgo, Gemini, the intuitive, the rational, clashing, right? So that might bring around situations where there's caution and there's a desire for perfection and efficiency and detail and systematically, analytically breaking things down to figure them out and having a passion for doing that and maybe connecting with somebody with their analytical mind. But that's going to clash with Mars's desire overcoming, right? Gemini, Mars overcoming Venus in this particular situation, clashing with, the impatient, impulsive Mars, the one that is very rushy, wants to get stuff done. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's be Gemini. Let's investigate all opportunities. Let's get really creative with our problem solving and come up with solutions. And like, okay, that's all wonderful, but we want to slow it down. What we're going to come into is this other desire about, yes, that's fine, and let's work this out where we're not overly impulsive or rash or rude with our words too. We want to make sure we're discerning and we'll get the best of both. The square is always about action that needs to be taken, but it's also can be conflict. So conflict resolution. When you think about a step, like a step of a staircase, what steps need to be taken to have these two energies work together to create change and move forward. We're also coming into the last quarter moon with in Gemini, the last quarter moon is in Gemini, and it's going to be conjunct Mars. So we might be feeling yes, very much around, with the last quarter moon, the ending of a cycle where there's this slowing down and there's this completion energy after the full moon, which just happened. So we're coming off this full moon and we're allowing those fruits to be released into the world, to settle as this cycle starts to complete. So slowing down, what's essential, not to scatter our energies. When you think about Gemini, the mental processing, the chatty mind, the last quarter moon might be saying, hey, slow down, you don't, to avoid mental exhaustion or anxiety and maybe overcharged. I know last night, man, that full, if you ever can't sleep, always look at the phase of the moon and the sign that the moon's in. And in a full moon, especially this full moon in Pisces, with that square, I mean, the sextile with Uranus, and it was just coming off of a square with Mars. But in my mind, I have no problem falling asleep, but my mind was like, da, 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 da. I was like, okay, I'm trying everything in the book. Deep breathing. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to be with this. And eventually I fell asleep and I woke up and I was like, you know what? I told myself, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to have a quality sleep with whatever happens. And I just kind of, released any anxiety around that and just programmed that I was just going to have a really good night's sleep and I'm going to be okay. And I woke up fine after it was really only a few less than the normal sleep time. It might have been only 4 or 5 hours. I don't know, but I woke up feeling okay. And I had a really great day. So I'm just saying, there are things we can do with our mind to program like that, but it is difficult in a full moon when you see the moon light, even though I shut the shades, it's coming in and you can feel that energy of like, heightened emotions and perceptions. But anyway, all right, so that's about, and Gemini also, you think about the breathing. And so breathing and breath work and being aware of our breath to slow down our mind, to calm the mind. That's also a very good thing to be doing at this time, the last quarter moon. Okay, Friday. Friday, the sun is going to come into an opposition with Neptune. So the sun in Virgo, Neptune opposition, Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. Whenever you have an opposition between two planets, if one planet is in its domicile, as Neptune is and has been for many years in the sign of Pisces, you know, that planet, of course, has the upper hand. So an opposition being of the nature of Saturn, where there's boundaries and limitations that are being experienced, and there's this kind of integration and accountability that needs to take place for that seesaw to be balanced. So I would say the sun opposite Neptune would be like lifting, excuse me, we could lift our spirits from the work and the toil that we might in the workplace anxiety, or just the toil of our everyday activities. One great remedy would be, you know, singing or poetry or dance or anything that inspires us, whether it's performing arts or meditation or yoga or all these wonderful, beautiful Neptunian things. The arts, healing, right? When you think about Virgo being the sign of healers and service, so we could serve ourselves, serve others, and nurture ourselves in this opposition, coming into balance using, say, song or dance or even mantra. When you think about Neptune being, you know, this bhakti devotional way of being, so we could find inspiration and balance using these things. And maybe asking ourselves or discovering in the process, what is the ideal work-life balance in terms of these areas of our lives? And you know, where is it good to take a break and to have a little escape, and what is the boundary between that and escaping for the sake of escape? So these are things that will be coming up as we get closer to Friday. Sunday, the sun will enter into a trine with Pluto in Capricorn. So the sun and Virgo, both earth signs. And so we can see that this transformative process that Pluto represents in the sign of Capricorn, which of course is about our base level of reality, collectively as a society, it's our government and our civil structure, right, of society, and also the you know, the collective of humanity as we know ourselves to be. And on the personal level, it would be like a family dynamics and the roots of our transforming the very roots of our family lines and our genealogy, and I would say a careful, disciplined, you know, efficient, dedicated look at these transformative processes. Where's our shadow, and really using our mind in a very careful way that's not critical, but critical meaning not like making something wrong, but like really assessing things evenly for what they are and how we can heal, how we can use to look and speak and feel into the pain body or shadow, wherever we have a shadow hanging out, and dealing with these maybe subconscious processes that can lead to regeneration, that can lead to healing. And so we're digging up things that may be unpleasant or fear, we've had fear around, and it gives us an opportunity to bring another layer of healing forward, detoxifying our mind, detoxifying our body, very carefully looking at these things to create regeneration, reprogramming, healing, creating fundamentally sustainable patterns that will assist us, that are not based on, you know, lack or fear or, you know, domination and things, but healing from a very fundamental level of collective healing. So it will certainly benefit the collective as well as ourselves. So that's really all I wanted to say about this week. I will be getting in the next episode, I will be talking about all the symbology that has come up in the last several days. It's been a real game changer with the passing of Queen Elizabeth and what that means for the collective. So, all right, off to that next episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you soon. See you in the next episode. Thank you so very much. This is Irlianna Samsara, StarSound Speaks, StarSoundastrology.com. Thank you all for listening. Namaste.